Accra to become the cleanest city in Africa. That's the promise of the president of the land. According to him, this will be achieved at the end of his term. Now, in an attempt to track the progress of that promise, Citi TV, took a look at one community, the Osu Anorhor community, to find out what their sanitation situation was like. That was last year. Now, when we got here, the situation was terrible. Here's a report by my colleague Zoe Abubedu as of October 2018.
In an attempt to solve the sanitation issues in Osu Anorhor, a bigger one which threatens the health of residents in the area has rather been created. The assemblyman for Osu Alata, Hubert Bakpogashan, created a mesh to prevent the plastic waste from being washed into the sea.
The drain there carries about 70% of waste within the whole of Osu. The popular area that is Osu Oxford, where we spend a lot of time having fun, the waste that comes from those communities finally comes into this big drain. So the challenge that you are seeing there is not the fault of us. It is from upstream.
The drainage, supposed to channel liquid waste into the sea, has rather turned into a huge reservoir of germs and plastic waste. The stagnant nature of the plastic waste has now become a breeding ground for mosquitoes. But a more worrying situation here is the fact that one of the public toilets releases fecal matter on a daily basis through this pipe, which eventually ends up in the sea. Others also conveniently practice open defecation along the drain.
People used to pay 80 pesos for toilets. Imagine you have 3 children or 4 children, you and your wife, and you have 4 children. You are left with 5 cedis. Toilet is taking 80 pesos. Shower is taking 50 pesos. How can you survive with these 5 cedis with you and the children? And I can come and tell you, please, my mom is not at home. I want to go to poo by my stomach. Don't want to drive you away. 80 pesos. And after the 80 pesos, they release it into the gutter. They release the toilets into the gutter.
The plastic waste is believed to be from residents in and around Osu who dump refuse into the drains, which ends up here at Anorhor. Osu is a major part of Accra. President Akufo-Addo promised to make Africa's cleanest city. However, the town, which hosts the Osu Castle, Oxford Street and Independence Square, among a host of other national monuments, seems to be lagging behind in this quest. Residents here are worried about the situation. They fear an outbreak of any disease could be dire.
Environment na wa. Tontono bekebi woyen bekebi tontono kadidon gbane eye mobo. Ko na no kon yagbe no. No te wie mo no abajebu. Ake bu eneke e ka ofe to mo enemies. Shi je na kan ke won fe na kan we. Wa ka ke ma e ka ya no. Ko no nyame ko ne yagbe ko no. O ba we. Na onyame ko ne o yagbe ko no obawe wo mi pam lalu efai na me wawo ke emu ebi ye hwe ame wawo ni wo kwa wo environment ne ye wo gota na ehi eja ke etowo wa
si of late agbe no agbe babu achi ne ena wa fi wo denje ye bi ene ko odie bi ene o che ne gen sent ni ba ena wa no ke korila je bi ene what me wo vicinity mi wo fe ka gbele gamba wo fe o ba gbo dani government ba ke okay besaga akwa bi ene na akwa bi ene hawo.
It is the responsibility of the local authority to ensure the sanitation situation is managed and improved, but it appears they have shirked their responsibility. The youth say they are willing to take up the task of cleaning the drain if the local authority employs them.
One time na work send me gota mi ni me gbin na me ga me to me police foi na me mo ka me nya me tu don wo you tani wo yo wo ba yin wo tun wo ni wo ba yin wo tun be go me tani cha ba ni wo le che wo kala dili mi ga ni wo gbo na me pe wo am ga ni tuma kan he mi aka he me la ka wa che sko bono ka mi wo po on nje ko me po kan bie nke wo da gota race ado mo da for me. Si mu mi no ma shako mi mu deko on le no ni wo si mi su na ko no pa ni mali owo mi su mu na me be ko na mamale we ko onupa e me onupa e na me male owo MPs onupa e na me male owo aseme me onupa e na me male owo mimita na mamale we ko.
For residents here, a proper enforcement of the law will ensure that the situation is resolved. Until 3 months ago, when this mesh was provided, there used to be a free flow of fecal matter and plastic into the sea. And as a stopgap measure, the assemblyman for this area provided this mesh. However, the youth here are unhappy with this development as it breeds a lot of mosquitoes as a result of the stagnant nature of the gutter now. The residents here say they are willing to help government's agenda of making Accra the cleanest city in Africa by 2020. But is the government willing to employ them? Zoe Abubeidu reporting from Osu Anorhor.
Now, after our report last year, many individuals and institutions took notice and decided to help. For example, the ex-maritime boss, as well as then Sanitation and Water Resources Minister and the MP for the Kwale area, Senator Rawlings, all promised to help in one way or the other. The ex-maritime boss, for example, promised to give out 10,000 Ghana cedis to help employ the youth in the area to help in dealing with the problem. The sanitation minister also asked the assemblyman to, bring forth a roadmap. Now, the MP for the area, Senator Rawlings, also made a number of promises. For example, she promised to bring in the 48 Engineers Regiment of the Army to come deal with the situation. She also spoke of a town hall meeting that will involve the residents in the area to see the way forward. Also, she mentioned that 100 residents within her constituency had been registered to receive toilet facilities that will prevent fecal matter from flowing through these drains into the sea. Now, has the situation improved? Yes. City TV gets results. As you can see behind me, you don't have a lot of plastic matter like we had last year. The situation has improved, but is it perfect? Obviously not. We are here in the community on this edition of the Citi Newsroom to speak to the people, speak to the individuals involved to find out what the way forward is to ensure that we rid this community completely of filth. My name is Bobi Osei and you're watching the Citi Newsroom. Now, on one side of the gutter at Osu Anorhor is actually the former seat of government, the Osu Castle, and on another side you have a bundle of houses and structures that are housing residents or indigents of the area. I have one of them here with me who we spoke to last year, and he's in a good position to tell us what the situation is like. Senior, from last year to now, what for you has been the difference?
Actually, there has been a big improvement since we had municipal. The mayor have employed so many people who have been working in the drains, and they always deserted. Okay. There are people at the seaside who have been paid for, who cater for the garbage over there. So far, so good.
Things have improved.
Things have been improved. The situation is okay for now.
But still, we can still see that when they take out the rubbish, it's packed there. And you and I know, every now and then it rains. Is this the best situation, or should they after they've collected it, they should move it to the right place as soon as possible?
Actually, if you see, we need tractors and we need mobile machines which can move the garbage from where it is now to a landfill site. Yeah. But if you see, 3 days ago, you interviewed one of the guys before you came here. I called him and I spoke to him. He said, after collecting the garbage from the gutters, he will come for it. He had been there several days and he's not been coming. When you ask him, he say, there's no tractor. I have to bring a shovel. I have to bring logistics, so and so. I spoken to the supervisor. He spoke to him. Okay. But still, actually, so far so good, but we need more to do.